this everywhere. My wife's it's like.
Okay, guys, we're about ready to go.
How about just about? Almost there. A lot of information. I know, right?
Great. I'd like to call to order a meeting of the Summers Board of Selectmen. Today is February 19th. We're in the Town Hall Auditorium. The meeting will be streamed live. So please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Regards to roll call, we have Brian Wissinger, our Chief Financial Officer, Kim LaFleur, our Ops Director, Selectman Meyer on my right, Selectman Schmidt on my left, Director Todd Rolland, Land Use and Public Works Director, Joanne Nickton, there's Joanne, right, Library Director, Ray Stovall, our Fire Chief, other members of the Fire Department with him, which is great. John Curtis, recently elected Chairman of the Economic Development Committee, and members of the committee as well, I believe, correct? And members of the library board are also here tonight. Jack. See a lot of Jack in the back. You probably can't hear me. There it is. Okay. So, public comment. Do we have any public comment this evening? None of that. All right. So presentations about First Selectman. So we have a presentation to make here, which I'd like to ask Chairman Curtis and members of the board if they would like to join and we could step forward, along with representatives from Haven Yoga.
What's this for?
This is for Small Business of the Month Award.
Oh, okay. Thank you for filling me in.
We do, yeah. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. I was trying to
That's very helpful. That's very helpful.
No, thank you for this opportunity. As Chairman of the Economic Development Commission and on behalf of the town and committee, each month we try to recognize a featured business in Summers, and this month, the first of the year, is Haven Yoga. And Alana, about 3 years ago, almost March will mark 3 years, I think, since you've been in town as a business, and done quite well, not only providing yoga and wellness classes to the community, but also to her students offering yoga classes and training sessions, turning them into teachers, offering programs outdoors, paddleboard yoga, which I expect to see you all at.
Does that go along with goat yoga?
Yeah, Frank will be leading.
Get out of the water, really?
But kidding aside, we're really blessed to have businesses like Alana's in town, what they provide, and this gives us an opportunity to feature them, to recognize them, and so thank you.
The Board of Selectmen is a strong supporter, of course, of small business in town. We'd like more of them, and we'd like those that are here to proliferate. So I'd like to present this to you here.
Please.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Girls down. Make sure you guys are the best girls. I agree.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Very nice.
So under the consent agenda, boards and commissions, appointments, and resignations, we need to accept the resignation of Susan Peck of the America 250 Planning Committee, We need to accept the resignation of James O'Hearn of the Economic Development Committee. Want to make that motion?
Yeah, I'd be happy to make the motion to accept the resignation of Susan Peck from the Summers America 250 Ad Hoc Committee, and also to accept the resignation of James O'Hearn from the Summers Economic Development Commission.
Second that motion.
Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in support say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you. Opportunity to add urgent agenda items.
Don't have any.
Don't have any of those. No.
I have none.
Finance, transfers and appropriations, we have none. CFO's finance report and update.
Nothing really changed since last week.
Nothing. You just gave us this information here.
Yep, all of that. That's all the printouts for tonight.
We've got that.
All right. And a really large 11 by 17 full page budget. Yeah, you can actually see the numbers on the pages.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that won't strain my eyes then. Thank you.
I mean, it might still strain your eyes a little. It's still a lot of information.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, next we need to present the scheduled payments.
Yeah, I'd happy to make a motion to pass the payment in the amount of $205,881.80.
Second that motion.
Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in support say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Updates from boards and commissions, we have none. Pending business, we have none. Old business, we have none. New business. Budget presentation from Director Nixon, Library.
Copies of the budget.
I gave them all the line items.
I have something here for you. It says library on it.
I hope so.
Is this the vegetable?
Yes.
Okay.
Is this on or?
It should be a green light.
This green light is on.
You can bend it down and, yeah.
Now you can kiss it.
I don't know about that.
Just being sarcastic.
Well, you've got everything that I put together. I tried to keep it as simple as possible. The line items are not too dissimilar from what they were the previous year. The salary line is just the current salary rate, obviously. I put in a request for an increase in programs. The reason we did that is because we are doing more and more programs at the library. That's really popular. That's what brings people in. This is what the community wants from us. We get the lion's share of our programming dollars from the Friends of the Library who raise money, but with doing more programming and costs going up, I have actually approached the board and I've asked them to kick in some money, and I just want to have some money in the operating budget as well, just to help out with that. I don't foresee using all of that. As it is even now, with the current amount that I have, we haven't used too much, but I like having it in there as a buffer. Sometimes expenses come up, and so that comes in handy to have that.
What are some of the programs that are more popular that you're offering now?
We do so many of them. We have a lot of children's programs. Children's programs are super popular, a lot of story times. We just had Pete the Cat come, and it was like a song and dance thing. Yep. You name it. We've got bingo for the kids.
That one. Yeah.
You missed out. Yeah. We wondered where you were. But, we have a lot of programs for the adults. We do movies. We do crafts. We've bumped up our special programs to 2. We were doing 1 special program a month where we'd have a presenter come in. We've now bumped that up to 2. Those are usually popular. We do movies every week. So there's always something that's going on.
How does what you're asking for relate to what the board provides for programming?
What do you mean with the,
Maybe you're asking for $3,500, right?
right, you're talking about with the library board is
The library
offering?
board, yeah. What are they?
The library board, what I've done
How does
is-
that work, basically?
How does it work? Like I said, primarily, we're getting our funding for programming from the Friends of the Library. And historically, they were paying the vast majority of that. Then, when I bumped up the amount of programming, the Friends, of course, only have a finite amount of money. I didn't want to try and make more demands on them. I went to the library board and said, can we get some money from the endowment to go toward programming? They said yes. So I have taken, probably off the top of my head, I don't have that information here, I apologize.
That's all right.
Probably a few $1,000s that we've done just to supplement things. Like, for instance, we have a team program now every day at the library after
Right.
school.
That's great, yeah.
So occasionally, I got to go out and I got to buy snacks. So little things like that. I can now go, and if I don't want to necessarily go to the Friends and overwhelm them, I now can put in and expense things out against the line item that the endowment has for programming.
Okay.
So we always had this line, or at least we've had this programming line in the operating budget since I've been here. And then I've just kind of increased it a little bit. Initially, the Friends had said to me, can you ask the town to put something in the operating budget, just kind of as a show of faith so that the town isn't saying, hey, the Friends, these people in town need to raise all
I
that.
respect that.
So it's kind of like I want a nice happy medium between the Friends, the board, and then, just to have something in the operating budget.
Speaking of snacks, where do the gerbils fit into this? I noticed the amounts of money that we appropriate.
$6.50 a week.
Yeah.
So you got some hungry gerbils down there?
$6.23 for gerbil food.
That's actually veggies, and that's all coming out of the endowment. So
Wow.
That's all
What are we
donated.
paying for that?
You're not paying anything for guinea pig veggies.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, that's all donated. We have a little,
I'm sleeping better tonight.
you should be. Yeah. We have like a little container on the desk, and people make donations to the guinea pigs, and then that goes into the endowment, and then the funds to pay for the veggies come out of it. So
Wow.
the town is not paying for
Sounds very
vegetables.
complex.
Yes, yes. I
Can
got
I
it
ask you
all
a silly
figured out.
question? When you sent us this, your budget, you had said that you were having trouble with leaks at the library.
Oh, and my monthly report?
Yeah, your monthly report there.
Yeah.
And I talked to Todd, and he said he was working on it like a beaver. And have you been able to solve the leak issue?
Yeah, it's just because of the volume of snow we've had, and then
Oh, I understand.
the
Believe
cold
me, I have leaks in my
temperature.
living room, so I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah, so we're just getting water in, and we're kind of putting buckets under, and once we get through this weather, then the plan is to go in and make any repairs.
Okay,
So
I got it.
mostly, nothing major. We're looking at replacing some ceiling tiles probably,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I think we have a batch of them sitting in the shed.
Yeah, we had to shovel off
Yeah.
the porch area out in front of our house.
Yeah,
That, it was leaking in that way, and it leaked into the living room.
yeah.
So now I gotta pay somebody to paint my ceiling up.
I'm thinking the repairs will be minimal.
Okay, I wasn't trying to be hard,
Yeah.
you mentioned it, so I just thought I would
Yeah.
ask you.
I remember last time you were here, I think we discussed with Todd the need for upgrading the security cameras, I think.
Yes, we had talked about upgrading the security cameras, and then Brian made a good point that what that company was looking for to upgrade them was really high. So we kind of went back to the drawing board, and we said, well, what can we do with the existing vendors that the other town buildings are using? And at the library board meeting on Tuesday night, Todd was there, we had a discussion, and we're in a contract with Sonatrol. So I think we're leaning toward sticking with the contract rather than having to pay them to get out of it, and supplementing, adding cameras with the other company. That'll be a lot less money. And then eventually, when that contract expires, we'll switch over to the same companies that the other town buildings are using.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Where was I?
I do, I have a couple.
yeah.
Well, thanks. I mean, I think you're doing a great job. I enjoy reading your reports. I think there's been a lot of great things happening at the library. I hear great feedback all the time.
Thanks.
So I know we did a lot for salary increases. That's obviously driving a lot of your budget increase.
Yep.
So that is what it is. I mean, it was a decision we already made. That's something we're going to have to fund next year. What do you think was, looking back in the last year, what was the biggest return on investment that the community got from the library? What would you say would be your number one? I'm not talking about what you want for next year. I'm saying looking back, what was...
Well, I think with any library, ideally, it's going to be what you're putting into your materials that you're lending and your programming.
Okay.
So primarily, that's what people are going to the library for. So when you put the money into those two categories, ideally, that's where you're getting the biggest return. And of course, you got to factor in the building itself. So we have a really beautiful library, and now, of course, those expenses for maintenance and all that are coming out of Todd's budget, but we're getting a return on that by offering that facility.
Yeah, and I think it's been great, the partnership with the town. I think we've saved money. I think we're getting a great service. Todd and you've been working well together. I've heard a lot of great feedback about the teen center, and the increased engagement. I think you've done a good job, just as things have shifted away from books. I mean, you're adapting. It's a community space.
Right.
You've been diverse. I think you've done a great job kind of following the trends. As far as the increase in programming, could you send us the breakdown, just as a follow-up, just send us an email, what the Friends contribute per year, what the library board contributes a year, and then we can compare it to this, just for our knowledge. That is a newer line item. I mean, since this board, in the last 5 years, that was a new item. We started with $500. It's kind of gone up. I understand why. I mean, we are looking at a really tough year. It would certainly probably be one of the first things to get cut if we get in trouble.
Right.
But I think there's other ways to fund it. Like you mentioned, for instance, snacks for the teen center. We have the DFC grant. So, I mean, things like that for the teen center, we can charge the DFC grant. So I think we look at that where, we can potentially offset some of the things you're spending money on, get the same outcome, but do it in a different way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
working with social services, working with the finance office,
Yep.
there's other quote-unquote pots of money that we may be able to draw into.
Yep.
We can leave it in, but if we start to get in trouble, we need to make reductions. That's obviously an area,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's more discretionary versus salaries.
And that's kind of what I'm putting it in there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not putting it in there with the idea that, I'm definitely going to spend that. I'm
Yeah.
putting it in there more like, it would be nice,
Yeah.
but if it doesn't happen, I can work with that.
Yeah,
Was that something that you would return to the town if
Yeah.
you didn't spend it?
Yeah.
Of course you would.
I'm just asking.
yeah.
Joanne's, the library every year, they're probably one of the smoothest budgets as far as returns. There's no last minute, I've got money left in supplies, let me spend it on computers or something and transfer it. It's not the school mentality.
The superintendent does over the school.
Yeah, if you've got money left, spend it so it doesn't go back. It's always been not always, but the last few years it's been a good partnership.
They did return money last year, the school. But.
Yep, the school did last year as well, but the library has always been very straightforward with their purchases. So.
And we've returned money every year, at least
Yep.
since I've been here, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, you've provided great leadership. I think our library board's been excellent. I think the library, you've done a great job, your staff, so nice work. If you could just send us that as a follow-up, the funding, just the breakdown.
For the programs?
Just, what the Friends contribute, what the library board contributes, and then what you're asking us to contribute, just so we have it. And I think everything else looks
It'd just be
great.
good information to have.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, you did great work. Thank
Well,
you.
thanks. Yeah, nice work.
Do you need any information about the rest, or the
No.
other lines, or are you all set?
I think we've got it all, right?
Okay.
Not a lot of changes. The salaries, you have a slight increase to automated services and then a slight increase to materials.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, that's
I
it.
think we understand what you're doing.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Oh, and you said you wanted me to talk about the America 250 plans for the library.
Yeah, that would be great, yeah. If you
Okay.
could just tell us what you're contributing to that, because I think that's,
Yeah.
So it
So
helps us
Tim had
understand.
asked me if the library had any plans for the America 250, and so I put together some information for you. We do have 3 programs that are planned, so it kind of ties in with my programming thing. These are all made with outside presenters, so there is some cost involved. But we have May 13th, The Baroness, which is the amazing journey of a camp follower during the Revolutionary War with Gregory Edgar. Mr. Edgar is a local author from Summers who's written several books about the American Revolution, including 2 for young adults. On July 6th, we have a program called What a Glorious Crash They Made, Music of Connecticut's Revolution. That's with a Richard Franklin Donahue. And Mr. Donahue is a musician and a historian. He studied music at UConn and has been teaching piano, voice, and music theory for over 30 years. He's also the town historian of Cromwell, Connecticut, and he presents historical lectures throughout New England. And the last one that we have scheduled, and of course there could be more that get scheduled, and we might even do some programming in relation to America 250 for children. We haven't booked anything yet, but the last one we have for adults is Tories, Spies, and Traitors. This is August 3rd. Divided Loyalty in Revolutionary Connecticut. And this is going to be put on by the Connecticut Museum of Culture and History. We have a membership with them that the Friends pay for. That membership gives us a pass for our patrons to borrow to visit the museum at a discount. And then it subsequently gives us a discount if we book them to come in and do programs with us. And then the other thing, too, I was approached by Jan Martin from the America 250 Committee about possibly displaying a banner that the Connecticut Museum is offering. They have 2 of them, so 2 towns in Connecticut would take on this banner and display it somewhere in their town. And I don't know if we're going to do it or not. You have to pay to do it. We would get a discount because of our membership, but it's big. It's like 6. I think it might be a couple $100.
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
It's got to be inside though, too.
It's got to be inside. I think it's 6 pieces. Each one is about 8 feet tall. Yeah, so
Very informative from what I hear, though.
Yeah. So that's something we're thinking about if we could figure out where to put it because of the space issue.
Right.
So
I can understand that.
The other place would be the school, right? I mean, the library or the school, probably the only ones that have that much space.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where else
So
you would
that's
put it.
something I'm
Like a
not
gym or
committing to
something.
that, but
No, I
that's
get
something
it.
we're tossing the idea
That sounds
around.
nice.
No, that sounds
We
great.
think about the Blake room.
But yeah, you're right. That would be.
They're not really using it for the schools during the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're
And
right.
even, but if you put it in the Blake room, people will see it if they're in there for a program, but it's not in like the primary
Like, yeah,
part of the
right.
library, so you
Yeah.
want
Like,
to
you
get
want
the
the
most
friends
amount of
somewhere.
people to see, yeah, exactly.
I
So
get it.
I was just talking to
Yeah.
the 250 committee and just telling them that when the schools present their art exhibits, they do that in the Blake room, and they get a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
Comes through. This is annually.
Right, right. So something I'd like to do, we just have to put our thinking cap on and figure out where, if we can place it somewhere, and where would it go?
Where it would go, yeah.
Yeah,
We understand.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that presentation on spies and traitors. Some of George Washington. Well, first of all, they had a lot to do with winning the war.
Yeah,
And
There's a lot
some
of
of
good spies.
George Washington's most important spies came from Connecticut.
yeah.
They were
So that's
schooled at
probably
Yale
the
University.
kind of thing that we would be able to get across to people,
Yeah,
so
that
that
would be
would be a
great.
good thing. And then we're looking into getting some more, we have materials, obviously, on the American Revolution, we might get more. I just bought Ken Burns' American Revolution on DVD if people want to borrow it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so
Nice.
that's,
You know, I was wondering, and I haven't been able to talk to the committee yet, but I was wondering if you guys could focus on the people who from Connecticut signed the Declaration of Independence, and at least do something to promote that. I think there were 4 or 5 people. And also, if you guys could, I had looked in the Historical Society here. I was wondering if we could get some information too about the people that actually fought in the American Revolution from Summers, so we could at least know who those individuals were.
right,
Because I don't think people really understand that when they signed the Declaration of Independence, that was a dangerous thing to do. It was extremely brave and extremely dangerous thing to do. And then all these people, that did fight in the war, they were very brave too, and they did some amazing things. So I hope people understand how brave these people were that got us our independence.
Right.
Great. Thank you, Joan.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Fire departments.
Yeah, next we have the fire department budget. Chief Stover.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. PowerPoint?
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got it right here.
We'll start off with some information on the way, like our call statistics. So for 2025, we had 2,453 calls. Of those, 1,913 were medical, 1,188 were ALS, 725 were BLS. We had 85 motor vehicle accidents, 113 fire alarm and medical alarms, 27 structure fires, and this does include mutual aid. Officer and service calls, 150, and other fire calls, which is brush fires, trash fires, etc., 165. 2024 call statistics, 2,237, 1,128 ALS, 543 BLS, very close on motor vehicles, 82. Alarms, we were at 100. Structure fires, 14. Officer calls, 57. And other fire calls were 52. So this just shows the trend of how we've been going pretty much steadily up since 2014. You can see when we created the medic program, we had a spike, dropped down a little bit after, and we've been climbing up ever since.
Very busy.
Absolutely.
See where the new norm is, though.
Exactly, yeah, it's going to plateau eventually.
We're going to be meeting with the selectmen from the adjacent towns, probably 5 or 6 of them in March.
Absolutely.
That's one of the subjects they want to talk about. So that's something you and I may just sit down and talk about beforehand with regards to emergency medical provision and how that be done by all the towns.
Absolutely. Anything we can do to help. So, call statistics for 2025 mutual aid, I tried to break it out because I know that was a request at one of the last select board meetings. So, in 2025, we had a total of 745 mutual aid calls. I broke them out by town. For Stafford, we had 461 calls. That's 61.88% of our total mutual aid runs. 356 were ALS, 67 were BLS, 14 motor vehicle accidents, 9 structure fires, 9 alarms, and 9 other calls. Ellington was next with 176 runs, 23%. ALS, we had 124 runs to Ellington, BLS 30, 13 motor vehicle accidents, 3 structure fires, and other fire calls were 6. There are some other towns on here that I didn't include, just was ones and twosies, Union, etc. But Enfield, we went to 65 times, East Long Meadow 11, and East Windsor 7.
So with East Long Meadow, 'cause I know they're not allowed to, Mass isn't allowed to come here, right?
Sort of. So they can come here and then transfer back to Massachusetts.
Okay.
So they pretty much do not come here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's not really a true
That's the
mutual
bottom
aid.
line.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're
Are those all EMS calls though? Not
East Long
necessarily.
Meadow, not
Yeah, so
Yeah.
for fire,
Right.
for East Long Meadow, we go there, they come here.
So fire's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only 11 calls.
Yeah, so I'm
Looking
not
at
sure
the
all
fact that
of
we
them
have
were EMS.
480
That's
paramedic
a good
calls
point,
to
yeah.
our 2 neighboring towns, like that's, because when you think of the word mutual aid, those 480 calls can never be mutual because they don't have the same service.
Correct.
So the word mutual is out and it's just aid.
Yeah. We do have contracts with both of them, right? Both
Yes,
towns.
we do have contracts for both of them.
Yep. This is, obviously, we put in place, or Chief Leonard put in place, the new stipulation where if we're out on call, we don't go mutual aid, so that's definitely going to cut back on some of it. Because our main goal is obviously protecting Summers and make sure, we're not stripping Summers for other towns.
Right, that would be important.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Call statistics for 2024, we do not have the breakout, unfortunately, yet, like I did for 2025. Total was 738 mutual aid runs, 518 ALS, 118 BLS, motor vehicle accidents, 26, structure fires, 11, fire alarms, 11, and other calls, 9.
So these figures have remained fairly constant from year to year. from
Pretty much,
2000.
yeah. I would say from a couple months back when we put the stipulation going forward, they're definitely going to drop off. We have noted a decrease in mutual aid calls. We didn't go today because we were out on another call. It's happening probably like once or twice a week. So it'll show the numbers, and we'll start keeping good records of them for sure. This is just a mutual aid comparison for you guys. I'm not going to go through that. So some of the notes from the station over the last little while. Some updates. We obviously had a change in leadership. I'm very excited to have taken over as the chief. It's been a lot to take on, but it's been awesome so far.
We're excited to have you, too. So.
Thank you, sir. The UTV arrived today.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yes.
Finally.
It is in the
I've been hearing
station.
about this thing for at least 4 months.
Yep, we actually have it. The department doesn't even know about it yet. So.
So you're going to bring it up on Tuesday and take everybody on a ride?
Yes. After we do our training. Yeah, of course.
We do the insurance contract before.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully people know how to use it.
Oh, that's what we're doing the
Train
training.
on.
Yep. The keys are hidden right now.
Okay.
Smart. The new vehicle, Rescue 146, was originally called the TAC. We were going to designate it Rescue 146 to fit in with the TIA norms a little more. That's going to be in late June, early July. We formed a committee to try to make the best use out of that vehicle. We are hiring for my spot on the bottom end of the spectrum, so it's going to be a new firefighter EMT. We got 5 internal applicants, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, that's
3 volunteers and 2 part-timers. That's phenomenal. I don't remember having that much interest in a long time.
That's great.
Yep. So we're going to interview the second week of March. Captain Atwood is going to run the initial oral board and written interviews.
Great.
Some of the training we have coming up, we just completed our tactical emergency casualty care training on this last Sunday. We put 19 people through it. 15 of those people were from Summers, so it's a good start to getting our guys trained up to the rescue task force level. So I'm super excited about that. This Sunday is a lithium-ion battery class by the HAZBAT guys out of New York. It's about an 8-hour class on the hazards and special firefighting techniques for lithium-ion batteries. They're in everything. I mean, we're looking at 4 of them right here.
Yeah, we recently had
Sloan.
some structure fires, right, with lithium on
Absolutely.
batteries.
Yep.
In the
There's
fires.
been more and more fires. We have to know how to deal with them. Very excited about that. Some of the equipment that came with the new TAC, the rescue truck, or the rescue jacks that we got, we're having 2 trainings coming up on that. The Arizona Vortex, design in Aztec. That is our tripod system. It's a rope rescue system. That training is coming up. And then I believe it is in May, we have a flash fire trailer. This is Dan Gordon's trailer. He brings it out. It's a mobile fire unit, and we're going to be doing 3 different classes with him. A water can confidence class, where you go in with a 2.5-gallon water can, and it shows you how much fire you can put out, how you can protect the door, how you can protect trapped occupants. We're doing a thermal image camera confidence class. The last one's a fire behavior class. It's going to be an awesome day, full day training. So the fleet, which is unfortunately getting a little old. We have 11 pieces total. Our 2 squads were purchased back in 2013. We have 2 tankers. One is a 2014, tanker 246 is 2004. We're currently at 3 ambulances, all of which are in service as of today. Ambulance 546 is the newest. It's on a 2023 chassis, but it's on the 2025 purchase cycle. Ambulance 646, which is up for replacement in the next few years, is a 2014. Not sure what that was. Ambulance 746.
Yeah, you got an email.
Oh, there it was. Yeah, story. Ambulance 746 is a 2020.
So are we licensed for 3 ambulance? I thought we were only licensed for 2.
No, we're licensed for 3.
Okay.
We've been
I
licensed for 3.
thought that had changed.
We
for some
reduced the
reason.
number of fly cars. I think,
Correct.
right?
Is that
We
what
used
it
to have
was?
3, we went
Okay.
to 2.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes.
I knew there was something. I thought it was ambulance.
Yeah, the old Chiefs vehicle, the black one, was licensed at one point as a fly car.
Gotcha.
Yes. Yep. So we have 2 medic vehicles. The 2020 is the Suburban. That is our primary medic vehicle. The Suburban is the 2015. We made the decision, we're talking to Todd, to keep that vehicle. The reason being is we're keeping it as a backup to the 2020 vehicle, to Medic 1. Originally, we were thinking about using
The Explorer.
the Explorer, yes. Originally, we were talking about using the new Rescue as a backup medic vehicle. The issue is it has so much specialized medical equipment on it that I couldn't justify that sitting on the side of the road in a different town when we might need it.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep the 2015, and that's actually at DPW. The utility truck, Service 346, is a 2015, and then my vehicle is a 2025.
But you're going to have much less need for a second medic vehicle with the new policy, because if we're already on a call, we're not going to go to a second. And then if it's an in-town call, they just go on the ambulance. The medic would just go on the ambulance. You're not going to send the fly car out of town.
No, it's more likely, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's more really a backup piece because the Suburban goes out of service periodically for problems.
Yeah,
so we actually still have a fly car.
It hasn't been the most reliable.
There's no gear on it. It's not. It's literally sitting bare down at DPW just for when Medic 1 is out of service.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be a bigger conversation. I agree with you. We're going to have to start talking about fleet, but I mean, I do specifically remember the pitch was that the rescue truck's going to be the backup medic vehicle. So, I mean, I understand your point, but we're going to have that conversation. I mean,
Absolutely. We're always open to talk.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so the budget breakdown. I want to thank Brian for helping me with this. It's been a lot in 2 weeks. The total for the new budget is $1,936,297. My budget is broken down into 3 sections: fire, EMS, and EMD. The fire budget is $660,803. That is a $12,866 decrease from last year. I don't know if you want to bring that up now or.
Well, we can. I mean, you want to go through it all before we bring it up?
However you guys want.
So there is one thing in the EMS budget. There is a line item or a salary item for a firefighter EMT. Those are typically under the fire budget. It was there for reasons because of when it was instituted. There was supposed to be a medic hired, but instead of hiring a medic, we hired a firefighter EMT. But we want to actually move that from the EMS budget over to the fire budget. Mm-hmm. That is a total of approximately $78,000 for the salary. I didn't look at the benefits. I don't know.
It's kind of water.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's 67.9 for the salary, and yeah, I would have to figure out benefits.
Was it 67? All right, so I couldn't remember the number off my head. Yeah, so we would like to move that over into the fire budget, which means the fire budget's actually going to be a slight increase.
For the fire budget.
Yep. Just seems to make sense for transparency.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, good. And I agree with you guys. I think that's where it should be. I mean, the medic salaries has grown exponentially over the years, and so trying to now kind of level it out with who should be where, probably the right move.
Yeah, absolutely. So the EMS budget is currently $1,233,708. And then the EMD budget is $41,786. So the way the budget is for you guys, what you have in front of you is a decrease of 1.91%. The salary decrease, the way that finance figured it out, was a decrease of $26,800.
How is that? I'm just curious. We have the union contract, right?
Yeah. So that's one thing I think we're still looking into somewhat. We can tell you what the new salaries are by person. We don't have the detail on what was in last year's budget.
Yeah, I think there were. I want to say there were some errors in last year's budget, and even looking at Keith and I were on the phone today with Ray as well, and we were looking at the trends, and it's trending really low in the current year's budget. I think the budget is like 378.
You mean the expenditures?
Yeah, and so and we're trending. I mean, the last report was at like 212, and there's 7 pays left. So I don't know exactly what was put into the salary line item for last year. What I can say is we now have a very comprehensive list of what's going into the budget, and we've got a pretty solid idea of where we think everything's going to land. So,
I mean, I think the key, and we can talk about it in a little bit, but I think how the ambulance fund plays into this. I think that's what we got to kind of unlock here, because that's, to answer your question, I think that's what's at play here. What's in the ambulance fund, what's in the fire department budget.
Yep.
Which is one of the reasons we want to move this person over, which you'll see later in the ambulance, because I think the ambulance budget is high compared to the income.
Yeah.
Which means
That's what I think. I think we're over on that. That's exactly where I'm going to.
Let's spend the money where it exists, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't think we can support that
Yeah.
amount of money for the ambulance budget.
Yeah.
All right, so budget changes, and this is with the current numbers you have in front of you. Our current staffing, we have 19 total staff, including myself, 9 full-timers, 10 part-timers. We're currently running a 24/72 model. What we found as benefits with that model is increased morale and more consistent coverage. Some of the cons, there's less volunteer turnout for some of the routine calls at night. So we're not seeing as many people get up for CO alarms, broken water pipes, and stuff like that. So I did note that. Proposed staffing as of July 1. We're looking to fulfill the full-time firefighter medic that was put as a possibility into the union contract. That would bring us up to 20 staff total. 10 of those would be full-time, 10 would be part-time. In doing that, we would put that new medic into the 24/72 rotation, and Captain Atwood would move to days. I think that's going to help me greatly. It's going to help the medic program have better oversight. It's going to help with continuity. I think it's going to be a win all around. It's also going to reduce overtime. He's going to basically fill in during the day. We wouldn't hire back another medic if he's there. We're contracted to have one medic on. So he would cover that overtime. He can also flex the nights to cover if we need to for PTO.
So he'd work like a 5-day a week.
No, so he's going to work, what we're looking at, I gave him a few different schedule modules, and the goal at this time is 12-hour days, so he'd probably do it 4 on 1 week, 3 on the next week to start.
That kind of old schedule you guys used to work.
Exactly.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, sir, yep.
No, that makes total sense.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
so
like
I definitely think it's a win.
Yeah. Yeah, it does not make any sense to have our leadership working midnight shift.
Right.
You know, they should be there during the day to meet with medical control, to do QA, to deal with all the.
Yep.
And Captain Atwood is very much on board and approached me about this, so he's been a huge help.
Yeah, no, agreed.
All right, some of the budget notes. EMS maintenance has been consistently overspent. I mean, if you go back to 2023, we budgeted $2,500. We actually spent about $14,000. This year, we budgeted $15,000. We're up to $30,000, and that's prior to another $5,000 plus bill coming in. So this is something to look at for sure. Yeah. So, TN dispatch, this has gone up a lot. This year, there's an increase of about $7,000. TN says it's due to a 3.6% increase in their operating budget, as well as an additional 232 dispatch calls for service on our end. I want to stress this is only for calls dispatched from the town of Summers, so none of the medics going to the other towns we're getting charged for. Sorry.
You got a 36.51% increase for TN dispatch.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
It is a big.
It's huge, yep.
Yeah, it's a total of $62,226 we're paying them. This is directly from TN. This is what they sent in the email to break down their money.
But we're changing our practice because we're going to go to only 911 dispatch calls because that's not been the case this last year.
We believe there's ways we can reduce it.
Yes.
Yeah. We can't change the assessment we're getting this year, but there are ways to
For the
reduce it for the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we got to go to just 911
Calls are
dispatch calls
Yep.
so that we can get this bill down. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I can go into that if you like.
Cheaper than having your own internal dispatch still, but
Of course.
yeah,
Absolutely.
another
Got a couple.
$50,000 and you'll be close.
We've got a couple procedures we're tweaking to make that better.
No, I think you got a good plan. I know, yeah.
I like it.
One thing that I am looking at, I'm going to be working with legal counsel as well as Brian, is I'd like to find ways to increase the volunteer stipend. Volunteer recruitment and retention is obviously very important. I'm looking to present a 5-year plan for stipend increases. We're not prepared to do that right now, but in talking to Brian, he thinks we can move some things around inside of the budget to potentially support transfers for this year to slightly increase the volunteer stipends.
Okay, sounds good.
So it's like a good increase of good use of funds.
Long term, we're going to be conducting a comprehensive review of our fleet. Tanker 246 and both squads are up for replacement within the next 10 years. That's going to be one of my big projects. It's coming up with, I'm working with the truck committee to come up with a replacement plan for those vehicles and see what makes the most sense for the town of Summers. Also going to be looking at nationwide trends and talking to other departments and seeing what other comparable departments are doing for their populace.
What's a squad going for these days? Any idea? I know when we got them, they were,
Around $1 million.
There's a lot written in the newspaper.
we had two of them for $1 million.
They got bought by private equity, and they jacked the price up, so.
They were $485 each.
It's a known thing. What, New York Times did a big expose on it.
Really?
So we might end up having to work into a bond package.
You should be
based on
thankful
cost.
we don't have a ladder truck or want a ladder truck.
Yeah, that's right, we don't want them.
So the next slide is
Remember the extended build?
Yeah. All driven by private equity. Artificially, it's like diamonds. Artificial scarcity.
We don't have the Summersville mill anymore.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're going to have something there, though, right? Eventually?
So you're the guy that moved it down, huh?
Yeah.
It's a cheap shit.
What you put up maybe first.
4 stories, right.
You know.
I know I threw a lot of information, a lot of numbers at you. We obviously still have some work to do. We've been working very closely with finance. DCL has been a huge help also. We plan to keep this transparent and try to make the best decisions we can with what we have. Are there any questions that I can answer or try to answer?
Pretty hard, by the way, to read these slides with the background you have here.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
just-
don't do that again next
They didn't print well.
It would be
Great on the screen.
Yeah, it's good up
They
here.
didn't print well.
Okay.
They printed.
Yeah.
I mean, I just
You
read every
can't read
slide.
anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry,
It looks pretty, but you can't.
That wasn't the intent.
Just send it to us electronically. Yeah, just email it to us. It
thought
looks
it was-
great.
I've got it. I'll forward the email, right? I'll forward it to
I'm
them.
just being sarcastic.
Yeah, no, do understand.
Are you done? I mean, I do have some questions.
Absolutely.
I mean, number one, nice job. Glad to have you on board. I know we got a chance to meet. I know this kind of got thrown at you, you did a great job putting this together quickly. I think your stats are great. I think nice work. I mean, support everything you're doing. Think it's the right thing. I'm a little concerned about the ambulance fund, so we'll come to that in a minute or two. I mean, the other thing I'm concerned about, and I know we talked, is mutual aid. And I think this year we got to be really, I would say, aggressive in either reducing the number of mutual aid calls or increasing the charge. Because I mean, we're facing the increase. We're hiring another staff member. The other towns are getting the benefit, and they're paying the same thing, next to nothing. And like we've talked, the cost of providing EMS and fire service is not the time you're on the call. It's the time you're waiting for the call.
Yes.
That's what's expensive, is having someone fully equipped, paid, and ready to go at a moment's notice. That costs a lot of money.
Yep.
If you're just counting the time they're on the call, you'd say, oh, we're doing okay, but that's not what Stafford and Ellington are getting the service for.
Right.
They have someone that's available 24/7. If they can do the service themselves, that would be wonderful. So I think we got to either increase what we charge them this year more, or reduce the number of times we're going. But that's going to be a conversation. And
So
I
I
know
actually have a request.
I think you need to go to that luncheon with me while all the other selectmen. Seriously.
I have a request in also to EMSI, and Tim and I have already kind of talked about it. I'm going to get their billing data for the last couple of years since we've been in place, and compare it to our current budget. Do the same exercise that we did 2 years ago when we got the ball rolling on these, and find out what that new cost. We always have the ability to negotiate these agreements, and we'll go back to Stafford and Ellington both. And the new cost is going to be X if you want to continue this service. Otherwise, we'll.
Another thing that I think is important is open dialogue between the towns, not only
Yep.
by the boards, but as well as the chiefs of service talking to each other. My plan for the next couple of weeks is to sit with all the chiefs of service. I plan to go to all the TN meetings, and I'm going to express that. Unfortunately, it's not Summers taxpayers' problem that they're having trouble filling mutual aid. So as long as we identify the problem, we can all work together to figure out the best solution.
Good idea.
And it's not just EMS. I mean, and I know you didn't create this. I mean, it's kind of, we built a good service, and now others are taking, but I mean, fire. I mean, we put a fire out in Ellington a couple of weeks ago, Summers did. I know in Stafford, what do the first do during the day to Stafford? I mean, they can't get a truck out the door, and if they do, it's one person with one driver. And we're there with a full crew before they are. So, and that's the fire as well. So, I mean, it's not just EMS.
'Cause you're
they got to
awesome.
step up to the plate, and that benefits everybody, because then if we have a fire, we not only have our full crew, we'd have Stafford's full crew, or we'd have Ellington's full crew. I know we rely on Hazardville a lot, I know we rely on Enfield a lot, and they're great. But I think these other towns, some are stepped up.
Yep.
They need to.
Yeah.
It's way past time.
It's a very big conversation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think having it on multiple fronts is the way to handle it.
And I mean, last time we had to drop the hammer on Stafford, and they finally came to the table when we canceled our bundle billing agreement with them.
Yep.
And that finally got their attention. But I mean, I think it's going to be time, again, to really put some hard options on the table to force their hand. Because I keep hearing, oh, next year, next year, next year. I mean, they're telling us next year. I mean, they've been telling us next year for 6 years.
Ellington's working on a fire this year, right?
Good.
They are putting it as a request in their budget to have that. There's nothing going on that one.
Yeah.
No, there's
Yeah,
nothing.
Chief Smith from Ellington came up and talked to us about it. Yeah.
Which is great. And I want to be a good partner. I mean, I think the relationship we have with Enfield is a model. Hazardville, been great. Shaker Pines, Enfield EMS, great mutual aid. We go there, they come here,
We offer the
but,
same services, so it's a true mutual agreement.
but it's gotten to the point where we're putting out fires in other towns because
Right.
they have
Yeah.
no staff during the day.
Yep. Right, and
So
that
we
shouldn't
do.
be our
We
problem.
also rely heavily on other towns for ladder trucks.
Yep.
We rely on Ellington for the brush equipment. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a
But
fair.
they rely on our tankers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we
That
have
is
the
mutual
tankers,
aid.
they have the ladder.
Yep.
And our tankers go out a lot.
Absolutely.
And not many towns have two tankers the size that we do. All right, thank you. Nice job with that. Let's talk about the ambulance fund.
Okay.
You want to do it, or you want me to do it?
Go
Or?
right ahead, because I'm curious to hear what you have to say.
Well, I mean, you have 1.2 million in expense.
Yes, sir.
There is no way we're going to generate 1.2 million.
Nope, we are going to generate, if I had to make a good guess, I'd say 800,000 is our best estimate.
So, I mean, that's a really bad idea for us to put ourselves, I mean, we're going to be out of money in like 2 years.
Yep.
The fund's going to be to zero, we're going to be bankrupt. I don't see a payment for the ambulance in here. Transfer to capital, that's not in here?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's transferred to other
top.
funds, sorry.
It's
Yeah, it's up at the
90,000.
top, transferred to other funds, 90,115.
So it is there. He just did, I thought it would be in transfer to capital, but other funds.
It messed me up too, because in the last year's budget was transferred.
He's the accountant,
This
not
isn't
me,
here, but
so-
that's not.
It's all good.
Yeah,
But I'm very concerned. I mean, I think we're going to have to move more to the town budget. I don't think we're, like the first selectman in Kingsborough, we're not going to see a $29,000 decrease. I think we're going to have to move at least $200,000. And then we got to figure out how we're going to get there. I mean, one of the strategies, obviously, I know we talked is, do we hire the paramedic and do it as a half? Say we start the person January 1st. It's in the budget. We can start hiring the person, say, in October, and just be ready to bring them on board January 1st. Like there's options. Again, that's one
at least
option.
40,000
So,
plus.
and please correct me if I'm wrong on this. I'm gonna interject, and I haven't talked to Ray about this, but that is an option. But then also we just talked about moving Captain Atwood to 3 and 4, 3-4, so he's there during the day.
Good job.
The reason we could do that was because of the new medic that was being hired.
No, I agree.
Correct.
But I mean, we don't have that now.
Yes,
Yeah, we
yes.
didn't have it last year. So I mean, to wait 6 more months,
I
it's an
understand.
option.
It is definitely an option. Just know there's the trade-off.
I agree.
Yep.
I mean, the other option, do we cut training? Do we cut hose? I mean, there's no way we're going to be able to support a $400,000 deficit here in this.
No, I agree, and I'm a little concerned about the deficit. I'm more. So the one thing, the big increases on the EMS side, as Chief Stovall pointed out, were the dispatch, which there's nothing we can do about
For this year.
this year. Vehicle maintenance, which it was budgeted at $15,000 last year. We've already spent $30,000, and there's another.
Hopefully the new ambulance can come back on that.
And then it's salaries, and I think I'm still trying to dig into the salaries because I'm not really sure how the budget of $484,000 from last year exists. Because Brian and I talked today. Right now we're trending towards $580,000 for salaries on the EMS side. So I don't know how we budgeted $480,000 when we're at $580,000.
There's a problem. I agree.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's good that Brian's involved. You're both working on it.
Absolutely.
There's a problem. So I think we got to figure it out for this
Yep.
year and next year.
Yep.
But there's no way we can support
Right.
a $400,000 increase to the fire department.
And like I said, that was the one obvious move. We said, well, let's move over Bonner because he really shouldn't be in this budget anyway.
Yeah.
But
We're committed to making it work while providing the best service we possibly.
So I think we got to just put our heads together. I know we saw the public works budget. He's facing probably a $300,000 increase. You got to remember, we funded a big part of the budget last year with fund balance. So just to do zero this year, to have a flat budget, we're over $1 million for a tax increase. That's zero. And then you put in what Todd's doing, what you need, the small requests from other departments and the Board of Ed. I mean, you're talking a $3 million tax increase. And there's no fund balance available. We're actually below the legally.
It's below our policy. Yeah, it's below our
policy.
Yeah,
And if we go below the policy, we're going to bond here. Well, we're going to bond for HVAC. We're going to get dinged on our bond rating if we're underneath our policy.
Yep, it will.
Which is going to cost the town long term. So I think we got to just put our heads together.
Yeah,
And just see
and we're willing to continue to work with you to figure out how to do it, but I think, Chief Stovall presented what he thinks is a fair budget, but we can find places to, we can look and try and find.
I don't think it's unreasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen crazy budgets in the past for the fire department. You know my opinion on that. I think in the past those days, I think you've done a great job. The three of you very quickly put this together, and I think it looks good. I support the extra paramedic, but I think that the dollars don't add up. I mean, otherwise, we're going to have to cut from other departments, which I'm fine with that too. It's just, we got to.
We know that.
We get it, we'll make it work.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is I'm not Mr. Tax. So, I mean, to put a $3 million, I didn't get elected to increase our
We're not
taxes
going to get a $3 million increase passed.
And even $2 million.
We understand that but, this goes back to what that gentleman has been talking to us about for years, is, wanting to increase different things in this town, but the people in this town don't want to increase the tax base. And if we don't increase the tax base in this town, we're going to be looking at this stuff forever.
That's right.
And, sooner or later, people are going to have to realize we're going to have to eventually increase the construction in this town, whether it's apartments, homes, businesses, all those things have to be done.
Yeah, we're aware of that, but the problem is we've got little space to accommodate those.
3 or 4 months to.
Well, I understand we don't have much time, and that's because we said
land that's available.
no. There's plenty of land available, and the thing that bothers me is as I told you, Tim.
It's got to be zoned properly.
Well, there we go, and this is another problem with it. We've had
We got a lot of agricultural land. You want to turn that into economic development?
yes, of course.
Okay, well, I don't know if we're going to get that done by July 1st.
No.
Get it on the grand list.
No,
I'm also sure that's
what
not
you guys are saying, it's not going to happen for this budget. But the point
You
is,
got to plan ahead. I get it.
No, I'm with you. I don't disagree. But I think, one of the ways we can close the gap is raising more revenue. So, fees for service, if we say we went to $500 a call, it's probably going to raise 50, 60,000 more, whatever that number is, it's going to help to close the gap, So I think we got to look at, I'm open to all ideas.
A lot of different things,
Open dialect, working together, so it's going to get it done.
Looking forward to it.
thank you,
Thank you very
gentlemen.
much.
On those
Great job.
intercept agreements.
Anything else?
No, you guys are great.
No, you did great. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate your time, guys.
Yeah, we've done,
Thank you very
we've done 37,000 year to date. This is through the end of January. We've done 37,000 on those intercept agreements at $250 a call. So you're right. And we're trending probably 60 for the year end would be my guess. So you double that, that's 120. I don't know that we're going to get 500, through to Stafford and Ellington. We might get to 4.
The option we don't know.
Yeah, there's that option.
I told you, Vernon and Manchester signed an agreement, it's like $800 a call.
Yeah.
And you know what? Don't call us.
Yeah.
But I think, Chief Stovall, and even for Todd, since you're here, I think you got to be ready, because we're meeting next Tuesday.
Yes.
Tuesday, right?
I think you both got to be ready just to let Brian know, what would be on the table for reductions if we need to make some next Tuesday. Because I'm not sure that, we may wait till the Board of Finance. I don't know where Tuesday's going to go, but I think we just got to be ready. What can we put on the table, revenue or expense, to get us? Because I don't want to make the decision. I don't want to say, hey, we're going to cut training $20,000, or we're going to cut. I'd rather hear from you guys where you think we have some room.
We will keep digging in as much as we can.
Before we jump to Todd, not to make you sit here longer, Todd, but do you guys have an idea in mind percentage-wise that I can put in for salary increases to generate that number so that I know what to put in the budget for Tuesday?
Well, first of all, it's probably going to apply just to a very few number of people, right?
Are you going to do an across the board COLA? Or?
I thought that because of the salary survey that we did and the adjustment we made January 1, that would, we'd have to address that. for those
Fine with that too.
Yeah, that's just my thought. I mean,
Or maybe we do like a 1.5 or something low, just as a placeholder.
As I say, do you want to sit down on Monday and
Yeah,
discuss
we'll
that?
talk about that.
All right, we'll talk about it on Monday then.
I mean, I think even if we put something low, like a 1.5 or something, it would give us some flexibility. But I agree that we're not going to do a 3 to 4% raise this year.
Absolutely.
Because
Because we just did 10.
All right.
we always do yours separate, so.
All right, John, let's go for it.
Good evening. As you know,
Thank you.
Thanks, gentlemen.
the Village Players disbanded back in the fall, and that building that they had exclusive use of in front of Mill Pond is a town building. They've been using it for years, so it's now becoming available. Public Works has been working on cleaning it up this last winter. And we've had several different organizations approach us requesting use of the building, so we thought it would be best to put together an RFP and give everybody the same opportunity to kind of, quote, bid on that space and come to this body with what they'd like to do with the building and what it would do for the town, frankly, and why you guys should consider whatever the organization is or individual
And they would actually
coming.
be paying a fee to use it, is that what you're saying?
Well, all options are open. This RFP is just, it's pretty simple. You know, the meat of it is to come with a conceptual proposal on what the projected use of the building or one of the spaces in the building would be, how that would affect the Mill Pond and surrounding area, if they wanted to do any alterations, what their timeline would be, and how they would pay for that, and realistic, verifiable financial projections, if they're going to use the building as a source of revenue, with really a feasible plan. And also, if they're proposing to pay the town rent or
Yeah,
not,
right.
we would anticipate if one tenant is using the building like the Village Players, they would pay all the utilities,
Yeah,
as that was done in the past.
I would hope they would pay enough to make it a flat expense for us.
Yes, which
You know what I'm
was
saying?
really the Village Players,
I'd like to make $1 on it, to be honest with you.
What?
I mean, I'd like to turn it, I mean, if we could get some revenue out of
internal
this.
maintenance.
Well,
I mean,
that would
we
be-
do the
that would
parking
be
lot and
nice,
the
but-
Breaking
pond.
even doesn't pay the tax bill.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
if I'm putting this out to bid, why am I not making $1 on this? It can sit there idle and make the same amount of money that it's going to make with somebody in it if you're not making $1 on it.
Okay, all
Well,
right.
that's part of this, is if you're proposing to do something with the building, how does it financially benefit the town?
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Are you
all right.
proposing to
You
pay
mentioned
rent
that-
or
you
a
mentioned that.
portion of your take, or, you know, it gives people a month to come up with an idea. We'll have a walkthrough on March 18th, I think it is.
So is it open to more than just civic groups? Is it open
Yes.
to commercial businesses if they wanted to? move?
Anyone can come forward. I will post this on the website and send it out to all of the interested parties that we've garnered thus far to come forward with a proposal on how it would benefit the town and the citizens of the town.
Why don't you mention some of the ideas that Brad Pellisier came up with?
Oh, yeah, Brad had a lot of ideas. He was a former chair of the Planning Commission. Now he's part of the Combined
Zoning.
Commission. There's groups that do kayak rentals. That's one way to generate revenue. There's essentially a locked cage where you have an app on your phone, and then you can rent the kayak for so many hours to go kayaking or canoeing. That's one of the ideas. We've been approached by the Scannick River folks that would like to house some of their equipment that they use to sample the water in the shed out back.
Okay.
We've had some departments approach us that would like to move in there. We've had, the Legion has expressed an interest. It is the old Legion Hall, actually, years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was when I grew up.
All right,
So it's
there's
really
some
up to
options to do some things.
the groups, the interested groups that come to make a proposal, and we're having them put it in writing, put it in an envelope, and bring it to the town clerk, who will receive them up until the date of April 8th is when the proposals will be due. We're doing a building tour on March 25th, excuse me.
Okay.
Do we have any other spaces in town, vacant land or buildings, that could potentially be in the same, that we could do the same thing for? Any vacant land that we could potentially put out for, you know?
No, we have a lot of land, but it's all small rights of ways and corners of intersections, other than Iapo, but that's
Yeah.
restricted anyway.
Yeah, that's restricted. I'm just thinking like.
Well, there's
where
the
we
3
can-
acres
where
in
we can get
Iapo that isn't
development
restricted.
and so forth in town at where we can.
We're not sure we want to go down that road.
Yeah, well, that's, I mean, it's, yeah.
Forget Somerville School, there potentially be space there, but
Right.
again, that's down the road. Like,
Right.
we
That's
could
if we
potentially
acquired
lease
it, yeah.
An office or something there, but we'd have to acquire it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I'm good with this. I mean, I think a couple of comments. Number one, we need to get legal language in here. So we need this from the town attorney. So I mean, number one, it needs to, it needs to be sealed bids, right? We need to have insurance requirements in there. We need to have the right to refuse any bids. We need to have there needs to be all that language in there. There's a whole, this is what they call like the back end. We need the front end of the RFP. So let's just, I think you have it or Brian does. The town attorney has it. Let's just get a front end on this to all those language that protects the town, so that we're covered there, and it's just very clear. Things like, is the walkthrough mandatory? Because a lot of times it's a disqualification if you don't attend the walkthrough, but maybe it's not. We just need to spell that out ahead of time. My other comment would be the selection process. I don't know what the other selectmen think. I mean, typically with this, we would appoint a panel to go through and then make a recommendation to us. Instead of like going through an interview process here, usually you'd have like subject matter experts that know more than me about this that would then.
Like the special projects committee?
Yeah, but something like that. Yeah,
Well, we could do that.
They do the same
Well,
thing.
Well, I'm saying that's,
it could be.
something to think about.
You have like an RFP review committee.
Yeah.
That, would, and it would be staff as well as,
Yeah.
potentially like the first selectman or someone on it.
Well, we could do that. The Special Projects Committee,
The effective date was the,
We have to appoint them.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to get appointed. We still got to get recommendations from the other boards, but
that would be a great first.
that, I mean, but yeah, you're absolutely right. That's kind of where like it funnels to them, and then they can make the
Well, why
recommendation
don't
to
I,
the board.
okay. Any other thoughts? Because we
This
can
looks
table
good,
this for now. Well, yeah, but let me refine it and I can bring it back, and that'll give us a chance. If we can form the Special Projects Committee, this would be a good use, I think.
Yeah,
I
I agree.
Good idea.
I mean,
As the
I'm
clearinghouse.
fine with approving this and letting you move forward with the concept, and then just bring back the details to the first selectman, work with legal counsel, work with Brian, and hash it all out.
But there's nothing on fire here. We don't have to
Okay.
move this fast.
Yeah, it's up to you.
We can wait a month, get the special
Well,
committee
yeah,
up and going,
that's what you
use
should
them as a clearinghouse.
especially it's winter,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Is that
It's
okay?
probably a
Yeah,
good time to
great.
do it.
Okay. I'm good with this. I mean, I think this is a good idea.
Yeah,
Good idea. You can come back with some ideas.
Yeah, well, let me refine it and I'll run it
And we
through
can talk to the town attorney.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some, especially the use of the building. I mean, there's going to be a lot of terms that they're going to have to agree to that are mandatory terms.
Yeah.
Typically, those would go in the RFP. So like by submitting a response, they would agree to our
Well,
terms.
yeah, and my goal with this was to keep it simple because typically we've just,
Brian, what was the-
people have used our space and we've allowed that.
I think it was-
This is the first time we've had a building.
But if we're going to lease it, like as a landlord to a
If we're
tenant,
going to lease it, that's the,
but if someone submits that proposal, they burn the building down, like the town's going to be going after them to
oh,
recover.
yeah, well, then when we
need
rent
to
it with a
show
lease
that
agreement, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
And we may want to do that anyways, even if they're not paying.
Yeah.
So I think we just got to talk to the town attorney and just
Okay.
make sure that,
Yeah,
because usually you'll do that in the RFP. So when
Right.
people submit the RFP, they're agreeing to these terms.
Right.
So that way we're not negotiating later and they say, oh, that's a non-negotiable.
Right, so like insurance, they would pay it.
yeah, we have a boilerplate insurance.
But we don't want people wasting our time, and then we come back and say, you need insurance. They say, well, we don't have insurance. Well, why'd you submit a proposal if you don't have,
Because we always have before.
typically they got to submit their financials. They
Yeah.
typically need to submit, they need to prove.
So the ordinance is in effect to March 10th, Brian.
Okay.
For that
Special project?
Special Projects
Then
Committee.
we have 30 days after that to
Yeah, you have
seat
that.
you guys to seat the
You have
committee.
some time. I think that's what you work on now, and then this
Yep.
is, this.
Yeah, I think
So we
That's a
could
good
bump
idea.
this to like May.
I think.
Yeah,
people
that's
can-
fine. That's fine. Tom.
We seat the committee March, maybe have the first meeting in
Yeah.
beginning of May or something.
No,
All
thanks for bringing this forward. I think this is a good
I think
idea.
it's a great idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, Todd.
right, let me refine it.
Job, Todd.
And Manchester's doing this. In other towns, there's other models. Like Manchester has that like WeWork space downtown where they lease. There's other towns that do this.
Good stuff.
We're getting ready to do it with the, once the new library opens, the old library is going to be up for adaptive reuse as well.
I think Fermi's doing it too, right?
Yeah,
I
Fermi's
Fermi,
doing it,
I think in
yeah.
Enfield. So there's other examples that we can,
Yeah,
yeah.
look at.
Good.
Okay.
Great, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Todd.
Thank you, Todd.
Okay, last on our agenda is approval of the minutes of the February 12th regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen.
Happy to make a motion to approve the minutes of the February 12, 2026 meeting.
Second motion. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in support say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
7:08.
I got 7:10. I go by.